My second guest of this evening is Adam Westcott. Hello, Adam.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Good. So we're going to talk all about you. You're going to play some live music for us.
Yep.
But first, a track off your fantastic CD. This is I Don't Want to Talk About It. Adam, how are you? Loving the sounds.
Thank you very much, thank you.
So, where do we start? Let's start at the beginning. So how do we get into this whole musical malarkey? Because one minute you're kind of like doing your thing, then you're on TV, you seem to pop up and down all over the place like no other. How did it all start for you?
It started when I was in year 9 and my friend came into school and gave me a Nirvana CD. And he just said, "You've got to listen to these guys, they're just amazing." And of course it was true. And I wanted to be a rock star and just learn all the Nirvana songs. So started, what did I do? I mean, obviously Teen Spirit and Lithium, you know, you get shown tablature, which is an easy...
All standards.
Yeah, it's a non-musical way of learning guitar. And then I got into a band, did the band thing for 3 or 4 years, but you know, I learned the guitar through Nirvana. So we're playing songs and writing music and all that. And what should be really, really fun and going to band practice and all that was just really stressful because the discipline wasn't there for the band. The other members were a bit slapdash.
Anyone who's been in the band will know this story very, very well.
So after years of frustration, I left the band and I went to Spain on a holiday a couple of months later, and that's when I saw flamenco, and I was just like, oh my god, that's amazing. This guy just walked in, sat down, and just destroyed this little bar by just playing this thunderous flamenco, and I was just like, that's for me. That's what I got to do.
Just that one moment.
That one moment.
Change your direction completely.
Yeah, absolutely. Loved the techniques, loved the virtuoso style playing, and the most important thing for me was that it just required one person to practice, and that was me, you know.
Yeah.
Didn't need any band members. So that's how I really got into flamenco. Seeing it live, it's such a live form of music.
It is an absolutely thunderous performance live, isn't it? It just sort of takes you to another dimension.
It really does.
But going from Nirvana to flamenco, that's one heap into the stratosphere. It's one giant leap. When you saw that and thought, you know what, that is what I want to do, that is the guitar playing I need to learn, where do you start? Where do you even begin?
Well, I started in the Yellow Pages, and I thought I've got to go through all the guitar teachers, and after phoning up loads and loads, they all said, no, we don't do it. But one person in Pinho did, and his name is David Pearman, and every day on my day off from work, every Tuesday, which is my day off from work back then, I used to get up at 5:30 in the morning to get a couple of trains and a couple of buses all to Pinho. So of all the places,
that is the way to go.
The Pinho, you know, was the flamenco hub, and for me, it was just being there at 8 o'clock in the morning for an 8:30 lesson was absolutely amazing. It was the best thing ever, and so I started. I just dedicated it. I just loved it. I woke up and I practice. I went to bed practicing. I just practice and practice. And, you know, with the love and all that comes with it, I've started to get fairly good. And after 6 months, I was, okay. But just loved it. And just had that burning desire to be one of the best players in the world. And so then, fast forward a few years, I went to Exeter College, a great course on the National Diploma. A great course there, and met a friend called Will, who's a pianist. Did the whole duo thing, piano and guitar, toured London and various places around the UK, and I loved doing the music with him. It was great. We wrote our own stuff, but there was something in me that I just wanted to be solo, and that's when I took it from there.
What's kind of going back to that kind of duo scenario? Almost arcing back to the band situation where you were going in one direction, Will maybe going another, and it wasn't quite matching as you thought it would.
No, it was just a sense of I wasn't able to really fully express myself 100%. When you're with someone, you do have to compromise, and piano and guitar is quite an unusual mixture. But the music we wrote was brilliant. Really proud of it. We're very, very good friends. Performed at the Royal Albert Hall, supported Kenny G. Got the phone call one day.
You see, you just dropped that name bomb in there. Kenny G.
But it's not just... it's not as easy
Royal
as...
Albert Hall.
Yeah, it was amazing. But again, that was after years of, 3 or 4 years of on and off gigs and, really slogging through the industry. And it was actually when I was 25 years old and I was completely broke and I was working in a convenience shop at the top of Teignmouth. That was to be the most pivotal point in my life. A lady came in and we started talking about flamenco, and she gave me a bit of paper, and on this bit of paper it said Manitas de Plata. And she said, "You'll never forget the first time you hear this man play." And she was absolutely right. This was a whole new sound. This is a whole new way of flamenco. This gypsy, raw freedom was unreal. So my life was just practice, even more. I've got this new style to play. And I started making demos and sending them out to agencies. I've got a bit more confidence now. I'm getting quite good.
Did that kind of reinvigorate you, that sort of, that new way of doing things, that kind of new sort of, I guess, nucleus of what you could be? Yeah,
definitely, because it showed me that you could paint the canvas with whatever colour you wanted to. And in traditional flamenco, it's quite structured. And, I'm a very focused person, but I don't like music that is structured like that. For me, flamenco is real freedom.
Yeah.
So I wanted to, seeing this was just like, okay, this is me. And then, started making demos, sent them out to agencies, didn't hear anything back for about 3 years.
As you do.
Phoning and emailing and all those things. And then one day I got a phone call saying, "Do you want to perform on a huge luxury cruise ship for 6 months?" And I was like, yeah.
Why not? I'll do that. I'll see the sights and play some flamenco. Why don't you?
Yeah, definitely. And the first, I flew over to America, and then we came over to the Mediterranean, went up to Russia and the Baltic a lot, down to the Mediterranean, and Croatia and Venice and everywhere. And suddenly, I was doing 4 to 5 sets a day of playing. And my playing just went up and up and up, and I was just so hungry. Like the Pac-Man people.
You were eating those bad boys up.
I was eating the knowledge every day. There was. I just wanted everything. I wanted to be just the best. So that was one of the another sort of moment in life which got me to.
I can imagine.
Start.
Going around the world and seeing lots of different people, lots of different places. How did that kind of reflect in your music? Did that kind of show you that flamenco is everywhere, or that it's just certain niches and maybe some people just don't get it? Or how did you find that kind of people orientated at the coalface experience?
Yeah, it's not the most commercial music, and it's we don't hear it on mainstream radio, but when you see it live and you hear someone playing and talking about it passionately, it is a whole different experience. It's and because people don't really hear it, they stop and they go, okay, what's that? So it was great. I had, from all over the world, people on the ships, and just absolutely loved it. So that was another good feeling, because that was all new to me, I went from having a part-time job in a supermarket to suddenly on a luxury cruise ship, playing 4 sets a day, seeing, and just couldn't believe I was actually earning my living playing music. I was thinking, do I have to do something else?
Are they going to make me wash dishes afterwards?
I didn't know, but no, it wasn't. It was just, you're here to play music, and that's when I started. You get that more that belief thing. You think, okay, yeah, I'm here to do that, and they love seeing it.
And I guess the reaction of the people made you believe even more that you're getting better and better and better and better.
Yeah, and it was just just talking about it now just takes me back. You can see it in my face.
He's
I'm happy
smiling,
now.
people. Yes.
It does. It's like it really gives you the confidence, and you feel amazing. It feels great. So I did that for one contract, sort of led to another, and it was in 2012 that someone came up to me and said, "You sound like Manitas de Plata. Have you heard of him?" I'm like, "Well, let me tell you a story."
Now, okay, going back to the beginning, that must have been like one of those moments where you think, "Are you serious?"
Yeah, and it was actually another moment that made me think. It was like a pivotal moment. So I thought to myself, "I've got to go and find him." So I started ringing up random bars, and just a little bit about Manitas. He was discovered by Picasso in 1964. Performed in Carnegie Hall in 1965 and sold 93 million albums. 93 million albums.
That's
playing
a lot,
this flamenco guitar, which just, you know, I mean, when he arrived in New York, it was like Elvis had arrived. He had that impact, and he was a rock star, nicest guy, but he loved it. He absolutely loved the travelling, the playing, and the things that came with it. And it was in 2012 that I thought to myself, I've got to find him. I've got to find this man, and I've got to thank him. So I started ringing up random bars.
Now, a lot of people are going to think you're on a mission to failure here, because, I mean, how do you do that? How do you begin? You have this moment where you think, you know what, this guy's a legend, he's helped me out no end, apparently I sound like him, let's go and find him.
Yeah.
You know, is he in hiding? Where'd you begin?
It was, I remember like it was yesterday, I was in the crew bar on one of the ships, and I just started ringing random bars. I got up the internet and just typed in bars in the south of France, and I guessed he would have been there because he's a gypsy, and there's a big gypsy settlement there, so they don't really stray from, you know, their turf.
Yeah,
so started ringing up random bars, and on the 5th phone call, I got his favourite bar.
Hang on, only five phone calls in?
Yeah, 5.
Do you think you got lucky there? Or do you think that's just, you know...
No, it's fate. It's meant to be.
Love it. Meant to be. Got his phone number, Bosh.
Yeah, and I left my name and number, and he phoned me, and he said, come down. So I'm thinking, this is unbelievable.
Between me and you, at that moment, did you wee in your pants a little bit? Did you do something terrible?
I was on cloud 9, pretty much. Yeah, I couldn't believe it. And it was, yeah, he said, come down. So I thought, okay, well, I just want 15 minutes, really, just to say thank you for the music, a photo, maybe play to him, yeah, and all that. And so I booked my ticket from Channel Tunnel. What's it called? What am I looking at? Yeah, that.
Yeah.
Channel Eurostar.
Eurostar.
I'm looking for the Eurostar.
I'm thinking there's not the tunnel, is there?
And went down to Montpellier, and that's where he was. And I knocked on the door, and my heart was pounding. I'm thinking, I can't believe I'm going to see him. And the door opened, and there was a lady there, and she said, "You must be Adam. He's waiting for you."
So in you go, into the inner sanctum.
And all of a sudden, I'm seeing gold discs everywhere. I'm seeing photos with Picasso, photos with Dali, photos with Hendrix, the Queen Mother, and all of a sudden, he's there.
That must be absolutely crazy.
It was. There are no words. It's like you become sort of numb, and it's like sensory overload, you know. And immediately, we were friends. I saw in his eyes. You know, they say the eyes, the windows to the soul. I saw exactly his soul. I saw exactly who he was and where the music came from. And for me, it was both the easiest thing I've ever done and the most nerve-wracking and everything all in one. So we sat down and I said bonjour. He said bonjour.
You tried your best.
Yeah. I speak decent Spanish. My first girlfriend was French. I forgot all about French since we broke up since I was 16. I'm 33 now.
I'm not learning that anymore. Forget that.
And it was the beginning of an incredible journey. Yeah. I don't really like that word journey. I'm going to say an incredible experience.
Yeah. Did he want to hear you play?
Yes.
Did you play?
I did play.
Again, that's a whole other sort of, you know, wetting one's pants experience. Surely.
Yeah.
The nerves.
It was just so surreal that my body sort of just momentarily just left the earth and just I became sort of numb. I was just playing. I'm thinking. You didn't have time to think. I was there, and I was nervous as well. And I was at the same time it was normal. It was both in one. It was just I can't believe he's there. Like he's physically there. He's physically there.
Critiquing you.
Loving
I'm guessing in his head.
Yeah, but I mean, he changed my philosophy of music. So I played to him, and I've been there for a couple of hours. We've chatted, and I thought, you know, I don't want to outstay my welcome. It's, you know, that's great. So I'm about to get up. I'm packed my stuff. I'm leaving, and he said to me, "What are you doing tomorrow?" And I said, "Nothing." And he said, "Come back, and we'll really do it."
Wow, amazing.
Yeah. So the next day I've turned up and it is hours of playing. It's hours and it's intense. It's the most intense day I've had. Showing me techniques. He's playing to me, I'm playing to him. I can't believe I'm looking at him and he's playing the music that I've seen him play to Picasso and to Dali and to the Queen Mother.
So you're getting an actual masterclass here.
Yeah, this is the man who sold 93 million albums and he's playing the music that I hear on his album and I can't believe it. And it's amazing how the touch that you have as a musician, that can't be taught. And his touch, I'm just hearing it, I'm seeing it, I'm just thinking, this is magic. This is absolute magic. And he's changed my world. He's changed my techniques. He's just, you know, I mean, he said it was great. He says what I was doing was great, but you can do this. How about doing this?
Next level
Think
stuff.
of this, yeah. And so I left there thinking, this is unreal. And he said, come back tomorrow. So I've come back the next day and there was something slightly different. So I've gone into the room and he stood up in this Merlin type wizard coat and he's got this great hat on and his awesome gypsy boots. And he said to me, and so he's 91, and he said to me, you've really inspired me and I want to go outside and feel the sun on my skin and the wind through my hair. He said, I haven't been out for 6 months because my son passed away. So I've been very sad, but you have given me so much energy. So
Filling up here, I tell you. That's serious stuff.
it is, and I can't believe it. I can't believe it. It's like, this is me. I'm from Teignmouth in Devon. I didn't know I was able to do that.
Do you think at any moment, you know, he was going to say something like, I don't know, what is this English guy coming around my house for, pretending he can play flamenco? Let's face it, it's not really a well-known thing over here, is it?
No, not really. Although you have palm trees in Torquay, so
I suppose
it's fairly Mediterranean.
it's the next step up, isn't it? Let's
Yeah.
face it.
So we went outside and suddenly everyone is stopping the cars, the taxi drivers, delivery drivers, and they're saying, Bonjour, Manitas. So, you know, everyone, and I was with him. It's like, yeah, I'm with him, you know, we're together, we're doing it, I'm being mentored by him. And we walked past the bar that I phoned, and it was there. It was called La Jacqueline. I'm thinking, oh, this is mad. Like, 2 weeks ago, I phoned that place. That phone in there rang, and it was me, and now I'm here. And then we walked on, we went to the seafront, and we sat down and said nothing for about 10 minutes. And then he said, I want to thank you for coming down. There's something very special about you. Thank you. What do you say to that?
What do you say to that?
I said nothing, actually. I didn't know what to say. It all felt too much. It felt too much. And I was just there thinking, this can't be real. This can't be real. And so after that, we walked back, and just as I thought it couldn't get any better, he said, went back in his apartment, and he pulled out this guitar. He said to me, there are 2 people in the world that have played this, me and my son, and I want you to play it. And as I've opened it, it's the guitar that he played to Picasso. He's got this big picture of him with Picasso. The guitar he's played to Brigitte Bardot.
So it's the guitar.
It's the guitar that he sold 93 million albums on. 93 million. And he said to me, I want you to play it.
And did you?
Yeah.
And I bet it felt good.
It was like a time travel experience. It was everything. This was the most. This was just Century Overload at its highest. I'm touching this guitar, and you know, I don't know about you, but I like to sniff the holes of guitars.
Do you know what? I'm not going to lie to you. I
You've
do
done
have a
it a couple
habit
of
of
times.
doing the whole sniff test, be it like old books or guitars or something.
Books are very nice.
Old vinyl.
Yeah, I haven't done vinyl.
I've not done vinyl. Sometimes vinyl actually smells of whatever era it is. I'm not kidding you.
So the era sort of clings onto
A
it.
little
so
bit,
is it?
yeah. A little bit. It's strange. But yes, I do love to sniff as well.
So I've sniffed this guitar and I've looked up and just this huge picture of him with Picasso is there. I'm thinking that guitar, with that picture of that guitar, he's playing to Picasso. And I'm thinking, I'm holding this. I'm holding this guitar and I'm playing it. And it's the guitar that I just first saw him play on YouTube. And I couldn't believe it was in my hands. It sounded like a dream. I mean, it was light as a feather. It was unbelievable. It was a machine of absolute brilliance. It was the perfect guitar. And I was playing on it. And so after that, I feel like my head can't take any more.
I bet it's about to explode.
Yeah, and we had photos, we chatted and just more and more, but he said to me, I wish you could have played with me at the Royal Albert Hall in 1968. And it doesn't really get much bigger than that.
It doesn't.
A compliment doesn't come any bigger than that.
At that point, you want to invent time travel and go and do it. Like,
Yeah.
let's face it.
Yeah. And so I left.
Well, you could have said, actually, I've already played the Albert Hall, so sorry, you missed the boat there.
Yeah, I would have preferred it to do it with him, but it's just he changed it. I left a changed man, and he changed the way I play, changed my techniques, and he changed my philosophy of music. And he said, just play for yourself, and the audience will love you.
Awesome. Well, I'll tell you what, pretend I'm not here and play your first track live on air, because you've got a guitar with you, so it's only right that you play some music, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not just there for sniffing.
No, so this is the piece that I first heard Benitez play. This is called Por el Camino de Ronda.
Go for it. Yes, you have indeed been transported to another place with me, Justin Cooper, live on Riviera FM, talking to Adam Westcott. Amazing, absolutely amazing. Just transported to a different place, probably not where I should be, because I'm doing a live radio show, but immense. I just don't know what to say to that. Fantastic stuff.
Thank you.
So you had the experience, now you've recorded an album of your own.
Yeah.
Passion, Thunder and Beauty. What made you decide to put some on record? I mean, you've got some great songs in there. The aforementioned Smells Like Teen Spirit is one.
Yeah.
What drove you to put this into a record?
Well, I felt that at this time, well, at the time I recorded it, I wanted to have everything that was, past and present. And obviously Nirvana is still my favourite band today. And I wanted to write, have some of my favourite songs on there in a flamenco classical form, sort of. So with Teen Spirit, I've sort of really minimalised it. It's quite dark. And that's on YouTube. There's a video on there. And I love doing that. I wanted to do something that was a little bit different and it's personal to me.
Yeah, what did the flamenco purists think about this? Because I can imagine if they're thinking flamenco is theirs and their music and they see someone covering Smells Like Teen Spirit in that style, they get a little bit upset.
I don't listen to them.
Awesome answer. But have you had that experience where they've kind of come to you and gone, this is not right? I mean, and then just not listen to them?
I have had people come up to me and say, oh, yeah, it's the whole sort of traditional and gypsy flamenco thing. So like I said, traditional flamenco is very rhythmic, it'd be on the third, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, something like that. Whereas, as you've just heard, the gypsy flamenco is, the canvas and everywhere, and that's what I absolutely love. And people have come up to me and said, oh, that's not real flamenco. And I said, you know what? I said, when I saw the photo of Paco de Lucia with Manita Zaplata sat on their Rolls Royce, gold-plated Rolls Royce, they didn't care. Because Manita Zaplata had so many critics as well as so much praise. And when you're doing something different, it's always going to get criticised. So the flamenco is about the duende, so it's a Spanish word for the feeling, the soul. So you can play it how you want to play it, and the purists are just stuck in the past. And if that's what you want to listen to, that's fine. I'm not here to force feed them. This is what I play. So if you want to listen to it, you can listen to it. If you don't, I mean, Paco de Lucia is, probably the most famous flamenco guitarist, but he didn't actually play pure flamenco. This is what a lot of purists, when they get into an argument, they forget that actually Paco de Lucia did a lot for flamenco to commercialise it. The Saturday Night Live was a great album, and he made it. I'm not going to say poppy. He made it more accessible. He had the band. He brought the band in, and I mean, he was a beast of a player, unbelievable player. But he didn't play flamenco either on his shows. He did a bit, but the majority of it with the bands and all that he was doing what he did. He did so much for flamenco.
And I think also in a weird kind of way, the correlation between him and Hendrix kind of just doing their own thing with the format that they learned to love, whether it be blues or rock or flamenco. Just turning it upside down on its head, going, let's do something different. It is the same thing, but let's just listen to this. So I can see the correlation between those two, going there. Also, of late, you've been on TV.
I have.
ITV, with the Silver Fox himself, Schofield.
That's right.
How did that one come about?
That came about, so I had a bit of time off work and I was feeling pretty low, actually. You're either high or low in this industry, and I was sort of in one of the troughs, and I literally got an email from somebody, and I thought it was spam, and I was about to delete it, saying flamenco guitarist needed for ITV, and I was like, no, I mean, it's just not. And I'm so glad I read it, because it was.
So you're thinking, that doesn't happen on ITV.
No. And
ever.
So basically, they sent me an email saying, are you free? This is Wednesday the 7th of July. And I said, can you come on the Friday the 9th to record? Are you free? I said yes, and it was just one of the best days. It was for All-Star Mr. and Mrs. And I went up there and met with the dancer. And they just said, put 3 short segments together, and it was incredible to be in a TV studio playing flamenco guitar with no limitations, and they were brilliant. The whole team up ITV were excellent. Philip Schofield was brilliant, and Natalie, who's the girl who I met, the dancer, she was an incredible dancer, and very, very, very pleased with it. Very pleased with how it came out, and sort of looking at that program, they don't have too many things coming on. There's like a feature, So
It's quite unusual actually in that show.
it was, yeah, it was unusual. I'm thinking, not only did I do it, but I had 1 minute 37 seconds of airtime, which is a lot of time.
To shred yourself.
Yeah, and it was brilliant. It was brilliant. I still actually can't, I mean, it only aired a couple of weeks ago, and I actually wasn't here when it aired. I was on one of my highs.
Were you a little bit gutted then that you were kind of away for this? Even with the old Tinternet as it stands.
50-50. I was in Quebec, so I was on a cruise ship on Quebec. Absolutely beautiful city, loved it. And at the same time, thinking, God, I'm on TV now. Like, I'm on TV now. My sister texted me saying that you're on now, and I was a bit nervous. I mean, I know that it went really well, but I wanted to. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking, I don't think they won't edit it. They won't edit much out.
And actually, cut it all out and stuff.
They didn't edit a thing.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, I've just tweeted that link now, so people can go and follow me and
great,
and watch all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Can I persuade you to do another song?
Yeah, I can.
Go for it. What do you want to play next?
I'm gonna play a Muse song. Yes, I'm gonna play a Muse song. I'm just gonna tune up very quickly.
That's how it proves this show is completely live, because I get to talk over inane tuning, which is actually really good. I find really relaxing.
Do you?
I do. I don't know what it is. Since I've been doing this show for 8 odd years, whatever it is, tuning is my I just love it. I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
That's weird, right?
Well, it's sort of asserting that this is live.
It is. This is definitely live. He's thinking, I thought it was pre-recorded. Oh no.
So this is obviously Muse are a very important band for me. I first saw them when I was 14, and they were playing in Lemon Grove to 20 people, and I've been with them at quite pivotal gigs and had the absolute pleasure of meeting Chris, the bass player, many times, and more recently Matt Bellamy, who was just a great person, lovely guy, and had so many good things to say about our playing. And it was a personal sort of, another sort of dream of mine to meet them and say thank you for the music. So that was all good. So this inspired me, that meeting inspired me to play this next song, which is Unintended. And so this is my version of it.
Great song. And on Westcott Live on Riviera FM, me, Justin Cooper. Now, we're slowly running out of time, but do you fancy doing some listeners' questions?
Yeah.
Excellent stuff. So, normal people, normal presenters will have read these first, not me. We're discovering them together. How's that?
Okay.
Right, let's have a little look. So, talk about yourself. It's only live radio after all. Okay, so Will wants to know. He's from Bristol. He says he's listening in. And by all accounts, it seems that you've had many highs and many lows. But after each low, there seems to be something great waiting round the corner. Is that the way you look at it? And do you almost hope for those lows to get those highs?
That's a great question. Well, you go through the lows, and I think the lows test you to see how much you want it, and you have to really just keep going, and then you are rewarded. I think the world watches, not to get all like ooh, but I think the world watches, and like I said, you fill up that glass of good stuff, and then something good happens. So the lows test you. The lows are difficult, but yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, that's a great question. Yeah, so my philosophy is just keep working, keep pushing. The lows make you stronger and make you want it even more.
Excellent stuff. Beth wants to know, when you're away from home, do you have one thing that you always take with you to remind you of home?
Another great question.
I have good listeners, don't
I? Well, it's really easy to sort of keep in contact. So as long as I've got my phone with me, I can FaceTime people and all that. But it's actually nice to be away from the internet, and be away from phones when you're away.
I bet it is.
So
I bet that's like everyone. So much stuff around these days. That moment where you'd have to do anything like that.
Yeah, it is really
golden.
nice. I take a few photos with me. Yeah, I do take a few photos. Yeah.
Jill in Coventry, I want to know, when you're gigging and obviously travelling the world, globetrotting, do you find the endless social media hard to do because it is just so inept sometimes?
Do you mean like saying, "Oh, I'm here, I'm there," and all that sort of
I guess
stuff?
obviously nowadays everyone's trying to push something.
Everyone's
trying to do something,
right,
and I guess
right.
what you're trying to say is, A, do you find that useful?
Yeah.
And B, do you get fed up with it?
I think really, I would love to have a following of like millions and millions of people, but I think it is good. It is good, and I do tell people about Twitter and all that. I do stuff on Twitter. I put photos up where I am, and Instagram and all that, and I like to put up live little clips and that. But I think unless you're really, really famous, there are obvious benefits in being mega famous and having millions of people, and just me and non-famous and tweeting, because if Kim Kardashian tweets something, the world goes nuts.
It does.
Whereas if I tweet something, I get a like.
You get a
I
nut.
get one like.
Yeah.
So yeah, social media is quite sort of swampy, isn't it? It's quite boggy, and it's good in some ways, but you just have to build up your following, I think.
Yeah. One quick one from David. Doesn't say what David is. Wants to know, do you think that you can get flamenco to a new audience and take it to the top?
Another great question. They've all been great questions. Yeah, that's my mission. I want to collaborate with famous artists. So, for instance, the ITV link, I've been sending it out to people like Justin Timberlake's management, Rihanna's management, going to the top. And, I'd love to collaborate. So I would love to collaborate in a pop way, getting some of my techniques, especially the rhythmic techniques, into pop songs. And, creating a new sound.
Actually, I can really hear JT doing that with something like that, because he does kind of throw these little oddballs and stuff.
Yeah,
doesn't
he does, yeah.
Can really see that.
Can you hook it up for me?
Do you know what? Well, I can try.
Well, you get 20% commission.
All right, then, deal, right, done. It's a shame you didn't say Metallica, because I had them on the show a couple of weeks ago.
Oh, do you?
I did. You should have said
anyone? Anyone? Anyone?
Awesome. Let's fit in one more song, why don't we?
Okay.
Go on, what are you going to do?
So this is Michael Jackson's Smooth Criminal, one of my favourite songs, done in a flamenco way.
Great tune. awesome stuff. I almost had the urge to go, well, sing along with it basically, but I didn't, obviously, because that would ruin it. Because okay, it doesn't kind of go with the flamenco thing, does it? Really? Anyway, it's been great to talk to you, Adam.
Thank you very much for having me.
There's the album out. There's the book about the experiences. Everything. Where can people go and find you and like you and all that kind of stuff in the social media ether?
I have a website which is adamwestcott.com, WESTCOTT, and I have if you go on there, I've got like Twitter and Facebook links all on there, Instagram, Adam Westcott Music. But my album is available on iTunes, and my book is available on Amazon Kindle.
Excellent. Well, we'll plug all that on the blog after the show.
Thank you.
So, pleasure to meet you.
And you.
And I hope it all goes really, really well.
Cheers. Thanks for having me. Thank you.
Here, do you know what I heard? This Jackson Cooper, right? It's not even his real name. Imagine that.